CT live here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me live here on TalkShoe.com. And remember, boys and girls, it is if you're not listening to me live, how dare you? You can always listen to me on iTunes. You can also not only listen on iTunes, you can also listen to me on YouTube, screwtech.com, Downright Glasses video forums. I put the podcast on the video format. Also, you can find me at Zipcast and riseofthecritics.com. Well, that's been interesting. Man, I'm missing Constantine right now, but hey, I can probably catch the replay or something like that. But anyway, it's a shame it comes on my show, but hey, I gotta pull through. I can't change the show when it's, that good stuff. When all the good stuff happened at 10 o'clock on Friday, I gotta put the stuff here for you, the people. Anyway, a little update for The Last Man Standing. I will hope to get it up. My next review, River of Darkness, the Kurt Angle film. Yeah, I'm going to be, hopefully, going to have that up on late Saturday or early Sunday. I'm going to be working really hard for it. I'm writing the script now. I'm basically almost done with the script. And when that thing is happening, when the script is done, I will be going straight to the audio and video. And hopefully I will have all that done tomorrow, because I'm going to get up early tomorrow and just after I finish typing, I'm going to go straight to bed, get up, do all that type of good stuff, and hopefully have everything done for you, the people, and it will be enjoyed. And then have my second one, which is my second review, will be a secret, and it will be completely awesome when I do my second Halloween episode and all that good stuff. And okay, now let's get on to the nitty gritty. Since I was talking about Constantine earlier, well, I'm going to be talking about there is another big comic book thing happened this week. It wasn't supposed to happen, as a certain trailer, a teaser trailer, was released, was leaked out. And of course, you don't already know, I'm talking about Marvel's Avengers, The Age of Ultron. This, my friends, a lot of people have been talking about. They've been like, holy crap. This is just, this is like, wow. I didn't think this was going to happen today. I was like, okay, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? I didn't think the Age of Ultron trailer is going to be, I thought this was going to be, I'm going to say this right now. I didn't think it was going to come out this early. I thought it was going to be, they're like, okay, it's going to be on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but someone leaked it. Marvel had a little bit of fun saying, damn it, Hydra on the Twitter, and they released it out there. And I think, they're going to have something else special. I think maybe it's just me, but maybe they already planned this thing. Like, okay, you know what? I think they leaked it themselves, and maybe they put it out there just for, to get buzz and everything. Wouldn't surprise me. But anyway, Marvel, Avengers, Age of Ultron. Wow, this looks like a real departure. And hopefully this is going to be a real departure from the notable Marvel, the Marvel series, because for the most part, most of the Marvel series, which I don't think is really negative, I think it's really helped them get to the across, even Spider-Man and such, is that there was a lot of comedy in there. There was a lot of comedy, laugh and stuff like that. Iron Man, Captain America, all this, even on serious subjects. The first Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man, Hulk, all these other stuff had a bit of comedy in them. There was a bit of comedy, levity, and such. Even the first Avengers, even when things were not looking as bad as it was still really, it was still a really, really it still was really interesting. In fact, it was still funny and exciting. It was basically a comedy with action elements, which is fine. But honestly, it looks like the Phase 2 stuff really started. I mean, it stumbled a bit with Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 did have somewhat dark moments, but it was still labeled basically a comedy and such to me, a little bit more of a comedy. Door to the Dark World was really meandering and, for the most part, not really interesting. Thor got some good character development, and Loki had some as well, but not much else. I felt like it was just eh. And other than Captain America, the Winter Soldier, which they had comic stuff in it, a little bit of comedy, but they still had, it was a little more dramatic and such, which I am happy to, happy they had that. Of course, Marvel went back to the formula of comedy and action beats with Guardians of the Galaxy, but this looks to be more of a departure, and this is something, following to Captain America Phase 2. This looks like what Phase 2 was going to be, the big dark, the big, dramatic side. And just because something's going dark does not mean it's bad. It's just going to a different angle. And I'm hopeful it does. I'm not saying it didn't have any comedic styles, but I think there are going to be some. And it looks like it's going to be really interesting about what's Ultron and all these other things and how Hydra and everything connected to it. It looks interesting. And the trailer looks like really good stuff too. You see Ultron in his first real form, basically crushing one of the other Iron Man armors. It looks like it was coupled together with the first these Iron Man type of armors, which is interesting. It looks, and I think honestly, after that first battle, looks like they actually defeated him. Not easily, but it looks like it'd be more of a fight. It was actually less of a fight. They are not less fight, but they actually had a huge tough fight with Ultron. They have the original parts there. Tony's looking at what he did wrong. It looks like, and some people were pissed off. Ant-Man, somebody made Ultron. Da, da, da. Yes, but quite honestly, I think Ant-Man, probably I think this is the more interesting stuff for Tony, because Tony, for the most part, I know this might, someone say, oh, they're redigging the old wounds. Like, hey, Tony was responsible for a lot of these huge like machines of death. For missiles and such. Stark Industries was built on war, like some would say, war profiteering, and giving arms to not only deals to soldiers and such. But yeah, some would say that's retreading old territory with Tony Stark. But I mean, Tony Stark always seems to be a guy who's pushing for the future. He's always pushing for technology and being not only as a playboy, but also loving technology. He likes technology. He goes and like this. He's like, he just loves building these things. And trust me, even after Iron Man was completely gone, when Iron Man 3 looked like he was done for or something like that, he does, he still builds up armor. And you saw he's building things up, including the Hulkbuster suit, which looks really cool. And I wouldn't be surprised that the Hulkbuster suit is not only with Tony Stark's ingenuity, but I think a bit of Bruce Banner's as well. He probably designed it to make sure to keep the other guy in control, just in case this stuff would happen. I wouldn't be surprised if that thing would have come up in the Avengers Age of Ultron. Also, back to my point about Tony, I think this is going to be a very interesting thing as Tony Stark creates Ultron trying to help and try to protect the world. This time it backfires stupendously, and now people are going to be asking, well, the Avengers should be destroyed or something like that in the military. Probably setting up Captain America 3 with him taking on the NSA or something like that, or some type of really Captain America's choosing ideals and everything else face against reality. Which, by the way, you know what villain I actually think that Captain America will face will be very interesting? In fact, not only Captain America, but something really interesting for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or one of the other shows that Marvel's doing on Netflix. You know what would be really interesting? It would be really interesting if they actually had the Flag Smasher. Yes, the Flag Smasher is actually, believe it or not, a Marvel villain. And His backstory is very interesting. His backstory is that his backstory um, is basically uh, he was born Karl Morgenthau, the son of a wealthy Swiss banker turned diplomat in Bern, Switzerland. He wanted to follow in his father's footsteps and become a diplomat until his father was trampled to death in a riot at a Latvian embassy. He came to believe that humanity needed to do away with the concept of countries and nationalism that made people feel superior to those of different nationalities. The flag smasher uses terrorism and spread anti-nationalist sentiment. He conducts a one-man terrorist campaign in New York against nationalist symbols and holds hundreds of hostages until he's captured by Captain America and such. And actually, he founds his team affiliates, a huge team thing. Says founds Ultimatum, underground, liberated, totally integrated mobile army to unite mankind. And he serves as the supreme commander of the anti-nationalistic terrorist organization. Wow, this seems to be that would be very interesting and such. And believe it or not, a writer, Mark Grunwald, um, he created him in the direction of Red Skull, a villain with a symbolic aspect that would make him unlikely a Captain American nemesis, where the Red Skull symbolizes Nazism, flag smashers symbolize anti-patriotism or anti-nationalist and such, by going by terrorist means and such, which would be very interesting today with the entire Ron Paul, Ayn Rand, anarchist type movements and stuff. Not to say they're the villains and such or anything like that. Don't get it twisted. Something like that. And, something, more, because that to me be more interesting to go into is someone like that. Maybe, a reboot of that character. Because I think that would be really interesting. Hey, I think it would be something that needs to be talked about in the whole Marvel universe. Maybe have Captain thinking maybe he should pull, like, say, what Superman would do, say, I'm Noah. Because Captain America, I think once upon a time, Captain America actually just basically stopped being, he basically just after returning Captain America and everything else, I think he actually dropped the whole. He actually did during the whole Watergate scandal. He got so disillusioned. Captain America got so disillusioned that he abandoned his Captain America identity in the one called Nomad. And he actually became Nomad. And emphasizing the word meaning as man without a country. And I honestly, that would be an interesting way of him coming out after that. By the way, I'm looking this stuff in Wikipedia. I will leave the links in the description as well with Flag Smasher and the Wikipedia with Captain America as well. See, this is so much fun. I want to hear what y'all guys in the comments think about the stuff by Age of Ultron. It's 17 minutes talking about this. It's interesting. Also, in the trailer, again, I went off these tangents. And if you don't, I'm sorry. But I do this sometimes in my podcast. I go whatever. The one thing, one thing I also liked about the trailer is seeing how Ultron looks pretty cool. I like seeing Hawkeye. They say Hawkeye is going to be more pronounced. I think that'd be more cool. I like seeing Hawkeye. I like Jeremy Renner. I think he's a pretty cool actor. I think hopefully Black Widow gets some more because I think they're building up for a Black Widow movie, which would be great. After Black Widow, let's see what else. Thor. I think it'd be very interesting to see more. I like Thor, seeing him, and then they're pissed off and probably at Tony Stark. This looks like it's going to be more of a more personal. And I wouldn't be surprised if this actually does break up the Avengers as friends and such, and hopefully comes back after the supposedly Civil War arc or Avengers 3, which looks like to be something more bigger because the Infinity Stones are still out there. I think that's going to be something really to be what's going to happen with Thanos, which he's out there, and Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which they're making right now. I think it's going to be really interesting to really delve into that stuff. I can't wait to talk about this. Which, by the way, I don't know how Civil War is going to work because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is basically vigilantes at this point. And I know they're going to try to rebuild it. I don't know what type of perfect rebuild maybe after Age of Ultron, they're going to probably need S.H.I.E.L.D. to come back. And I think that's going to happen. I think they're going to have S.H.I.E.L.D. come back as a true force, maybe as a directive, maybe under General Talbot or something. That would be really interesting to. Maybe that would be an interesting twist. If Coulson does lose his mind, which, by the way, that's what's happening, I would not be surprised that maybe General Talbot will be maybe the new director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm just putting that stuff out there. I want to see if it catches on. I want to see what y'all think about this because this seems to be very interesting. Anyway, there's another thing. One thing I did like about the trailer is seeing War Machine, AK-9 Patriot, or I don't know whatever he's gonna call himself in this movie. Because because I do think that was the Avengers needed. Just something. Just because I honestly think what the Avengers did need was some type of some. I mean, he really needed some type of he needed some type of some type of diversity in it because I feel like honestly besides Nick Fury, I'm like damn, there's no other brothers out there, nothing. Damn, there's nothing. It's just with him and James Reynolds, I think that we because I'm hopeful that War Machine comes back because I love War Machine and his new look. I want that look because I really like. I do want War Machine coming back because I like the Iron Pit. It looks nice, but I think War Machine it looks could be really cool. So bring that back. I like War Machine, and that because heck, you know what would be more interesting? How about let's see, James Rhodes, aka I think James Rhodes, aka Iron Patriot or War Machine. I think call me a bit, even more even nuts. How about something like Don Cheadle? Or not Don Cheadle, but I don't know what his schedule will be, Don Cheadle's schedule, but how about him being the director of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Right? Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting. That would be very, very interesting. I'm just throwing things out there. I want to hear what you guys think about how everything seems to be going out, going completely, I'm just rambling and you guys want me to stop. But, but honestly, Avengers Age of Ultron looks pretty good. I can't wait to see more of this. I'm hopeful that after this, we'll see more. Again, not only more diversity, but also after the whole thing, I think it'll be more interesting stuff. And hopefully DC gets their game up. Because I did enjoy Man of Steel. I'm probably one of the only few people in the entire reviewerverse who liked that movie. I don't know what people call themselves do reviews. I don't. I'm the only person who likes that movie. I think I enjoyed it. I really cared for it. I think they're going to be on the right track. I'm liking where they're going with Dawn of Justice. Here's hoping they get that stuff right because they got a lot of plans over in DC and Marvel for the next 5 or 6 years. Well, Can't wait to see it. It looks to be a fun ride, and it looks like be something I can't wait to see. Man, I took half the podcast talking about Age of Ultron. That's how big this thing is. I thought I was going to talk like 5-10 minutes about it, but bam, I just kept talking. But anyway, yeah, that's going to be something else. Age of Ultron looks really interesting. I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to see more of the stuff, more stuff about it. Can't wait to find out more things about it. Anyway, we're going to take a small little music break, a music interlude, if you will. I'm going to be playing a little. I'm going to play something I haven't played in a while, some Mega Man. In fact, I'm going to do a new song. Something I haven't played here. I'm picking some stuff here from Mega Man X Maverick Rising from OC Remix. It is, how about, Spark Plugs. Yes. How about we play a little bit of that? We'll be right back after that. And after that, we'll get into WWE's Hell in a Cell preview. Yeah, I need to do better with my dark, deep voice. Anyway, this is Dukect live on TalkShoe.com in the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me, Dukect. We'll be right back right after this. Back live here on Dukect Lounge, live on TalkShoe.com. If you want to call in, remember the phone number, as always, is 724-444-7444. Once again, call in to connect to me. Dukect is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about the one pay-per-view of the year, the WWE brings down the house. The one pay-per-view of the year that hell creeps into the WWE universe. Tonight, I talk about the WWE Satan structure. I talk about the place where all damn WWE souls go. I talk about the pay-per-view that destroys career. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm talking about WWE Hell in a Cell. But hey, I have a pretty good dark voice for it. But anyway, WWE Hell in a Cell. And we have some matches here tonight. We're going to be, where we talk. So there's going to be some talking here about some interesting matches here. So let's get this stuff right out the gate. We're going to talk, so there's some good matches, some bad, and some, well, I don't really care about matches. Okay, first up, we have the loser must become the winner's personal assistant for 1 month. If the loser doesn't comply, they will be forced to quit WWE match. And I really don't care, Nikki and Brie Bella. I just don't care. Does anyone care about this match? Anyone? Bueller? Come on. Come on, people. I honestly don't care. I know there's some people who love Brie Bella and Brie mode, but if you know, I honestly don't care. I mean, call me to me at this point with the Divas division. Call me when Bailey comes up. Call me when all those NXT divas or what have you wrestlers show up. Because that's the only way I'm actually going to be impressed about the WWE divas. I'm done with it. I'm done. Next up, we have the international. Oh, by the way, I have Nikki winning, so that type of stuff, and continue on and all that good stuff, and have Brie being have Brie treat have Nikki treat Brie as bad as Stephanie treated her, which makes no sense why the heel turn happened, and I just don't care. This is stupid. Okay, yeah, Nikki wins. Next up is the International Showdown. The super athlete Rusev with Lana taking on the world's longest athlete, the Big Show, which will basically have Big Show lose. Either he loses, and look, I have to talk about this stuff that happened on Monday night. Look, the Big Show thing, I know what they were trying to do, but seriously, a soldier and they a plan. I'm gonna talk about it. And but for build up of the WWE's, pay per view of Rusev and Big Show, which a match I guarantee you will suck so hard that it basically just will define new meaning of sucking. They have Big Show replace the Russian flag after he fight Biggie again. Have Rusev have him celebrate with the Russian flag. But then Big Show has a friend in the production crew, and he starts bugging for the camera, like, yeah, and, releases the old glory and such. But before that, Big Show was making fun of him. And Rusev was pissed off. Then Rusev was about to tear down the flag. And then you have a U.S. Army member jumps the barricade, tries to stop Rusev, and then Rusev goes and kicks him. And then Big Show comes out and carries a lifeless soldier, looking sad and crestfallen. Have new motivation to defeat the evil Russian/Bulgarian wrestler. At this point, can't we just have John Cena beat him in 2 minutes and get this whole undefeated streak and the Russian scruff move on? Can't we just have a guy who's just Bulgarian and he just kills us? He could be like the small Joe to WWE. And I know he's doing well. Him and Lana have done the impossible and made an old 80s gimmick work for the most part. But I am just seriously, man. This is a soldier, a fake soldier, just to get cheap heat on Rusev. I'm bored. And this match ain't gonna be good anyway. Big Show will lose, and I don't really care. And him will go and hit a world's strongest slam on Big Show. They're going to have a feud and everything else. Yada, yada, yada. Next up, we have AJ Lee vs. Paige with Alicia Fox for the Divas Championship. Paige wins, and I don't care. Because, honestly, both AJ Lee and Paige, I just don't care about either. They can have a good match, but I honestly don't care for either side. I don't care because AJ Lee's character is, I not really care about her. And her mic skills are, bad. I don't want to give every person in the wrestling ring, male or female, a chance. I don't want to come off as a sexist pig or why you come and tell me this? No, if they're terrible, I'm going to tell out they're terrible. I feel like I have to make this disclaimer if I just don't like AJ Lee or something, or anything to do with as such. I don't want to be, I don't want to have to keep making this disclaimer, but I feel like I have to. The divas are not that good. and AJ Lee and Paige may be good, but I don't have any passion. AJ Lee held the title for over a year. And yet, does anyone remember any of her important matches? It's like same as CM Punk. They hold the title for a year, and I don't care for it. Yeah, I just don't care. The matches and such are not really featured and important. Hell, Police Punk had some good matches. What was AJ Lee's run? What type of matches she had? Yeah. That's what I thought. I just don't really care for AJ Lee at all. And it's a shame because I really want to like her. I do. She seems nice girl. She does. She seems to have some really good talent. But her mic skills, her wrestling skills, she's mediocre. And the sad part is, being mediocre in the Divas division means that you are the top star. And by the way, I have no idea why Naomi has not gotten any love. I mean, that just pisses me off. Why can't Naomi win the title? I want Naomi to win because she's actually a very good wrestler. I just wish she had. I wish Naomi gets another shot, and I'm hopeful she does. Get some really good stuff as well, and something really because I just don't care. I just really I want Naomi to win. I'm not Naomi. I want Naomi to win the title and actually bring in some other people from NXT Divas and pass on and have them fade away from Nikki and Brie Bella, AJ Lee, and even Paige, which I dubbed basically Gail Kim 2.0 because, quite honestly, she's on the same track of winning a title way too early and then winning the title way too early, having a really unimpressive title run, and basically that's it. Nothing really memorable. Like I said, I have Paige winning. Next up, we have the WWE Tag Team Championship match as Jimmy and Jey Uso go against to reclaim their Tag Team Championships against Goldust and Stardust. Alright. And I honestly, these two teams have some really good chemistry with each other. I can't wait. This is probably I start caring. This is gonna be a good match. I think it's gonna be a really good match, a fun match. I see Goldust and Stardust retaining, and hopefully maybe someday Stardust actually becoming a world champion one day. Still have hope that Cody Rhodes gets that shot. That's my hope. All right. Next up. Like I said, Goldust, Stardust retain. Next up, we have the WWE United States Championship match as the Celtic Warriors Sheamus. Remember him? Yeah. The Celtic Warriors Sheamus taking on The Miz with Damien Mizdow. I want to say Sheamus, but I don't care. I want to say The Miz, but honestly, I don't care. I just don't care about this match whatsoever. I don't think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be average. I will give Sheamus he will retain the championship, but honestly, I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Call me crazy. Sheamus hasn't done much with the title. I mean, they're all holding. I wouldn't be surprised they're trying to hold that title for Rusev, but I think Rusev should win the Intercontinental or something, a championship match. I think that would be really interesting, but I don't know. Sheamus wins the U.S. champ. I think Sheamus retains here. And he goes on to face Rusev after he goes off, doing his thing. Next up, we have a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Intercontinental Championship as Cesaro takes on the Intercontinental Champion Dolph Ziggler. This, I think, is going to be probably the best match of the night. I'm calling it right now. These two have great chemistry with each other. I honestly think that match will be the match of the night. I really believe so. I think it will be probably the match of the night. I think I would love seeing Cesaro win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ziggler does. So I think I see Ziggler retaining the championship. But I would be happy if Cesaro actually won. It'd be interesting. Next, next match is a Hell in a Cell match as Mr. Money to Bank Seth Rollins takes on the Lunatic Friends, Dean Ambrose. I want to say this match is going to be great. I don't know which is going to be the match of the night. I honestly don't know. As honestly, as the 2 out of 3 falls is going to be great, but I feel like Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose have great chemistry with each other. And inside of Hell in a Cell, I think it's going to be even better. I think it's going to be the best matches of. I mean, it could be a very good match. Hell, probably wouldn't be the best Hell in a Cell match in a good long while. I think it's going to be really interesting. And I know that, yeah, that, and then, uh, you know, the main event structure and everything, which a lot of people are pissed off as, supposedly it's going to happen. I'll talk about next, but I think both Ambrose and the Wallers are going to have a great match. I think it's going to be something really magical in Hell in a Cell. And now we'll get to our main event, which I know they're calling this one and Ambrose and Rollins the main event, but I think this is the true main event as Randy Orton takes on John Cena in Hell in a Cell. And even better, the winner of that said match gets a future shot against the WWE champion, Brock Lesnar. Yeah. So it's going to be Lesnar Cena again. They could have had other people there. Because Lesnar Cena is, I mean, why? Seriously, Cena's story with Lesnar should have been that's at SummerSlam. Should have ended at SummerSlam. He takes his months off. He comes back, and after Lesnar loses the championship, have a Cena Lesnar 2 at SummerSlam next year. That would have been fun and easy. And you could have set other people challenges up. You could have set up, say, Sheamus or Cesaro, or you could set up, say, Rusev down the line. That would have been interesting. Rusev versus Lesnar. That would be, I mean, come on, that would be interesting. Instead, it's Cena, 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 Cena. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Cena beats him at the Royal Rumble. I would not be surprised at all. I would not be surprised at all if that is going to happen, as Cena was so close to beating Lesnar last time. I just I just know I don't want to see Cena win, which he is going to win. It's just I'm just it's pissing me off though. It really does. I don't want this to happen. I don't want it to happen, but here it is. Orton and Lesnar will be interesting. I would love that, but there'll be new and fresh matchup. These two guys never faced each other, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cena picks up the victory. Also, you know what is interesting? For this card, it's basically a lot of rematches. You see, because you have Goldust and Stardust facing the Usos in the WWE Tag Championship match. You have AJ Lee and Paige involved with Match of the Divas title. You got The Miz challenging for a secondary title. And Rusev is battling a super heavyweight who's hell-bent defending America. Basically, the undercard is, you can actually say, you know what? This undercard reminds you a lot of Night of Champions. And the only real main event difference is basically Rollins. I mean, the only real difference is, in fact, you could switch this up differently. You have Cesaro fighting for a secondary championship. How this is not a Champions reboot. Think about it. You have, instead of Mark Henry versus Rusev, we have a Mark Henry defending beating up Rusev, fighting Rusev. Instead of the Miz fighting for the Intercontinental title, we have Miz fighting for the United States Championship. We have AJ Lee and Paige who are fighting for a Divas title match again. We have Cesaro fighting for another secondary championship, the Intercontinental title. Dolph Ziggler's there for defending his Intercontinental title. We have Goldust and Stardust facing the Usos for the WWE Tag Championship. I mean, what in the world? I mean, what in the world? I just, I'm sorry. I just like, it's the same song over and over and over again. It's just, I don't get it. I'm sorry. We have AJ Page again. Usos Rhodes again. So Rusev again since their last match. In fact, this is a rematch. It's a rematch from Raw a couple weeks ago. God damn it. It's just, and then you have Cena Orton again and again and again. It keeps going over and over again. Sheamus and Miz is exactly. How sad is it that Sheamus and Miz is the first matchup on this card? Seriously, this is the first matchup. Sheamus versus The Miz is the first matchup on this card. Oh my, WE, shine on you, crazy diamond. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't get it anymore. I just don't. I hope they get the main event spots, Ambrose and Rollins, because those two are killing it, and and this is a perfect way to do it. Wouldn't be surprised if. Oh, you know what? With the WE, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the first match of the damn show. That's just my personal opinion. Anyway, Duke CT here live in the Duke CT Lounge, and thank you so much for joining me. As this is the end of the show. That I need to do better with the closings and do ending with something positive. Maybe I should have done the Avengers talk after this, because I ended a lot more positively after that. So, but whatever. I hope that Hell in a Cell is a good show, but if it's not, well, I'm watching half the WWE Network. It's $9.99, so at this point, I don't know why should I keep this network on. I'm sorry, because NXT is fun and all, and I like watching old stuff, but the current content, the main shows, it's nothing. There's nothing really interesting to keep me there. One good documentary is not gonna, keep me around. I'm sorry. I just don't care. I might just give up the WWE Network for a while. I don't know. If I need Hell in a Cell, I mean, I would not. Don't be surprised. I just stopped watching WWE for a while. Just saying, you know what? Screw the WWE Network. You get my $10 somewhere else. I'll give it to some Patreon or something. Something that actually entertains me and actually gives me something to think about. Anyway, this is Duke CT here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all. Remember, the Duke CT Lounge is always live Friday nights here on TalkShoe.com. And you remember, you can always find me on YouTube, ScrewAttack.com, Zipcast, the RVT community forums, That Guy with Glasses video forums, and everywhere else in between. Anyway, the community, RVT community reviews. That's where I'm going to be at. So yeah, look for me there. So don't worry. And on riseofthecredits.com. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Duke CT. Peace and love. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Excuse me, I gotta go back to the grind of making the next review, the last standing review for my Halloween special. And the next one after that. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Anyway, I'll check y'all guys later. Peace.